Welcome to this video, Music Business Management 101, Lesson 7, Tour Planning. Touring is one of the most complicated logistical issues you will encounter. Just look at this whole list. Contacting venues, get hotels, get inventory, contact promoters, call ahead to venues, find venues and hotels, pack gear, keep on schedule, have fun, make money, keep bandmates together. There's so many things. It's like another episode of that hangover issue, right? Just staring off, wondering what you're going to be able to do, getting overwhelmed with everything. You need to stay organized, stay on budget, and be responsible. And stay accountable to each member in your tour party. Pro tip, if you can have a manager come with you to handle tours, everything is taken off your plate. Even if they're unpaid, but then you just pay for their meals and legitimately take care of them while they're on the road with you, then it really, really helps. Just make sure they are a responsible and trustworthy person. Have some checks and balances in place. You don't want to have them running off with your money or just essentially mishandling stuff without anybody else overlooking some of what they're doing. Here's some tour management warnings. First, make sure to call ahead to venues, as some promoters and booking agents don't do their actual job of confirming shows. This actually happened to a band I talked to just this year. Deposit any money as soon as you can to avoid losing money or theft. Don't let anybody in your band or don't let a tour manager handle a ton of money at any point. Make sure to deposit any money, especially checks or cash, directly into your bank account every single day. Make sure to always find a secure place to park your van or your bus or whatever it is. And if possible, back your van up to a wall to avoid people unloading all your gear easily. Do not put yourself in a position where you can't leave if things are uncomfortable. And I'm specifically speaking if somebody invites you out to their house or whatever after a show or takes you someplace where you're uncomfortable or don't know where you are, don't necessarily just accept it. If you're not comfortable and you feel like the situation's a bit shady, get the hell out of there. And another one, as part of that, do not overdrink when you aren't sure how to get home. I know everybody thinks they're invincible and you outdrink everybody and nothing bad's going to happen to them, especially when you're young, but be safe. Don't make sure that you don't overdrink and that you aren't aware of where you are. A lot of these things are common sense, but it's hard to think logically when having fun. Other things you might want to have ready for your tours. Here's some tour checklist stuff. Get a stage plot. It's a graphic showing where your band situates themselves on stage and a list of any gear needed with outlets required. If you have a rider or dietary restrictions, this is obviously if you're putting on bigger shows or, touring with a bigger band, and some venues don't even offer this, but if they do, just in case, have it ready. Those are the things you will need in order to perform at your best, such as bottled water, for example. Any of the run of shows, what time is load in, show start, load out, etc. Get those all together. Make sure you have those, especially if it's like the day of. Make sure you know the run of the show for day of or the night before so that way you get to where you need to be on time. And you always want to know your set list each night, so make sure you have these at least planned out a few hours ahead of time so that way everybody's on the same page. What else? Make sure to have backups ready. Strings break, picks get dropped, drumsticks get broken. Make sure you do have these things on your person when you're actually playing on stage. Make sure someone is responsible for getting payment each night. Make sure it's the same person so it's not like a revolving thing of like, oh, it's your turn tonight or whatever. Make sure it's the same person so that everybody knows this person's responsible for getting the payments each night. Plan driving routes and give yourself ample time to get to the next city. Make sure to tune up van or whatever vehicle before hitting the road. Change your spark plugs, whatever you got to do. Get oil changed, check tires, get gas, check windshield wipers. That's a really good one, especially for if you're touring in like Pacific Northwest or Northeast where it rains a lot. Check other fluids, radiator, wiper fluid, oil, whatever else. Make sure everything's checked so that way you have the best chance of not having a breakdown on the road. And that checklist that I just went through is by no means an exhaustive list. Add anything you know of onto the list as well. So let's take some action. Use the tour planning checklist below this video to make sure you are ready to hit the road. Use the per diem worksheet to plan out your meals and expenses per day to stay on budget. Create a stage plot and rider if you need them for your tour. And use the email vendors template to contact venues or just pick up the phone and call them or both.